And we're back with another episode of Joe vs. Joe. I'm Joseph.
And I'm Jordan.
And welcome to the Joe vs. Joe show, where we talk about college football together as a married couple. And we just love doing this. And we're so grateful that you guys listen to us. And just please, real quick, make sure you hit the subscribe button. And make sure you follow us at
Joe vs. Joe. JOVSJOE. Right there.
Yep. Please give us a follow or subscribe. And we have support that we've already received from you. So thank you so much for listening and for all your support. We've had a lot of fun doing it this year. We're nearing halfway, Jordan.
That's crazy. Time flies when you're having fun.
I can't believe we're halfway through this season.
And it has been such a crazy season. We have so much to cover today.
Yep. And we have a really fun episode today. So just be ready. We got some surprises up our sleeve. We do have to do one thing though. Shout out to one of our loyal listeners of the Joe vs. Joe show, Mike. Thank you so much for being so loyal, and you did provide us with props. However, they might not be our favorite props, but we appreciate you and your support. So here you go.
Don't worry.
Don't worry.
I brought one to compensate.
Yep. So we're good. We're solid. We feel good now. We're okay. But thank you so much, Mike, for your support of our show. We really appreciate it. And to everybody else who listens, thank you so much. Just shout out to all of you. You are the crowd. So thank you so much. Now, Jordan, with that, can you follow up to some games that we had that weren't part of our 5 games of the week last week? It was a wild week.
It was a wild week.
It always is a wild week, but this one seemed extra special.
Yeah, it was crazy. So first game I want to touch on really quick was Missouri, Georgia. Missouri almost upset number 1 Georgia. It was absolutely insane. Georgia did squeak out and remain undefeated.
Barely.
It was, 16-9 in I think the fourth quarter for Missouri.
So close.
And so the ending score I think was finally, let's check that really quick. It was 26-22 for Georgia. So barely squeaked it out. Literally 16-9 in the fourth quarter. So crazy. You would have never thought Missouri, who's usually a bottom dweller in the SEC, would upset or even have a prayer of upsetting Georgia, but it almost happened. And with that, Georgia did move to second, which I think was,
fair.
Yeah, definitely fair. Okay, the next game that we kind of need to just touch on really quick is Minnesota is no longer undefeated.
And people were saying that they were going to go undefeated.
Yes. Purdue beat Minnesota. And Minnesota actually has a decently easy schedule.
That's why they were saying
Yeah, in the Big Ten, because they don't play Ohio State or Michigan this year.
Yeah.
And so, people were thinking that they were going to go undefeated because they're in the Big Ten West. And so, but that is no longer the case. They lost to Purdue at Minnesota, which is so crazy. The next one, TCU clobbered Oklahoma. It wasn't even
shocker,
close.
Honestly.
It was not even close, and TCU remains undefeated now.
It's not necessarily a shocker TCU won. It's a shocker in the way that they won.
Yeah, clobbered Oklahoma. And Oklahoma looked pretty decent, at the beginning of the year, and I was like, wow, they didn't skip a beat.
Yeah.
But nope, Oklahoma got kicked right out of the rankings, and TCU got put in after that game, which rightfully so. They're undefeated still. Let's see. Okay, the last one that we're going to touch on just really quick was Texas A&M at Mississippi State. Number 1 recruiting class, number 17 Texas A&M is struggling. They lost to Mississippi State also in quite a blowout. It was not close.
And we've got to get over you have the best recruiting class. Yeah, you did. And that means in 2 or 3 years, you're going to be really good.
Maybe.
Right off the bat, you might not be... Texas A&M was so young. They're so young and fresh talent.
It's coaching.
Yeah.
It really comes down to coaching because Alabama's good every year, but it's not because they have the number 1. It might be part of that, but it's also they have a great coach and they have a good coaching staff.
Yeah.
It's not just recruiting.
No, yeah. And that's why I think give Texas A&M, you got to give that recruiting class 2 or 3 years. They're not just going to be national champions right off the bat.
Nope.
As
But the
freshmen.
fans sure think so, and they are mad.
Yep, that's true.
So, yeah, that is the recap of the ones that are not in the top 5. And then with that, we can head into our review of the
top 5 games.
games.
Our top 5 games last week were pretty interesting. First game we had was Alabama at Arkansas. Arkansas, the Razorbacks are back, kind of.
They're now
you put up a
ranked.
fight though, and Arkansas they gave Alabama a little bit of a scare, but Alabama ended up running away with it as they normally do. However,
pretty close.
Bryce Young, Alabama's quarterback, is hurt. We think it's just a sprain. We don't really know too much. However, that is very interesting.
That's scary.
Especially going into this week, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But Alabama did end up winning, and we both said that, right?
Yes, we both said Alabama.
And the crowd
said Alabama too.
Wonderful.
Next, we had number 22, Wake Forest, at number 23, Florida State. Wake Forest looked like the dominant team really from the beginning. They just showed up. Florida State did come back a little bit and kind of made it. I think Wake Forest got a little too comfortable. Yeah. But Wake Forest did end up winning.
Wake Forest is building. They're going to be good.
They are. They're doing pretty well. With that, Joseph said Florida State, unfortunately.
I can't believe I did that.
The crowd also said Florida State, unfortunately.
I went with the home team.
But I said Wake Forest, baby. Go Deeks. Okay.
Next game we had was number 9, Oklahoma State, at number 16, Baylor. Baylor, you're not, man. You're good, but I guess you're not as good as we thought. I don't know why. When I was going through their schedule at the beginning of the year, the preseason stuff, I was like, they're not going to lose.
Yeah, you had them undefeated at one point.
I did change that before because I was like, that's crazy, Joseph. But anyway, Oklahoma State ended up winning, and they looked pretty good. They're a force to be reckoned with.
And it was at Baylor, too.
It was at Baylor. And they wanted revenge for the Big 12 championship.
last
So
year.
very interesting. Who said what on that one?
So I said Oklahoma State.
You would.
So who? Go Cowboys. And then Joseph said the Bears.
I've got
Baylor.
a lot of work to do. Luckily, I still have a whole half of the season
Also,
left.
this was supposed to be his comeback week, but it
was.
didn't turn out to be that
My comeback week is coming.
You're going to need some comeback weeks now.
Yeah, I will. I've got a whole half a season to go, so I'll be good.
The crowd also said Baylor. I mean, not Baylor, Oklahoma State. So good job. And there you go.
Good job, crowd. Good
okay.
job.
Then the next one, we had number 7, Kentucky, at number 14, Ole Miss. Ole Miss showed up. It was a close.
That was a big game.
It was a close game, too. So it's not like Kentucky got embarrassed, really. And it was number 14 against number 7. So big top 15 matchup. But Ole Miss did end up pulling it out and winning.
Kentucky, I don't think you need to start looking forward to basketball season yet. You're going to have a good football season, so don't worry.
I mean, yeah, you're still ranked.
You're just fine. It's okay. But, yeah, who said what on that?
We all said Kentucky on that one. So we
all biffed it.
Biffed it on that one.
That's okay. And then our final game of the week was number 10, NC State, at number 5, Clemson. That was an electric game, electric atmosphere. NC State just ran out of weapons really on offense. They were one-dimensional. Clemson just looked solid. They just looked like them solid selves. They weren't like amazingly good.
They were like Clemson's back, national champ.
No, but I mean playoff worthy potentially.
Right, maybe.
But I don't know if they can compete with the top 3 yet. The Georgia, Alabama, Ohio State. We'll see. But Clemson, you're looking really good. But yeah, we all said Clemson on that, right?
We all said Clemson, so we all got that one.
Solid. And let's get a score update with that.
Okay, so
I don't want to hear it, but it's fine. We'll have it.
I was 4 for 5 for this week. You were 2 for 5. Sorry.
Ooh, 2
this is
for
a bad
5.
thing.
Ugh.
And even ESPN was 3 for 5.
Ugh.
So overall, with our top 5, I'm at 84%. You're at a 60%.
Ooh.
The crowd's at a 68%, and ESPN's at a 72%.
Eesh.
So then with that, our total scores, so including the Jordan's quick picks and all of that good jazz, the total scores is I'm 119 and you are 102.
I got a lot of work to do.
So
I got a lot of work to do. We'll be back.
Yeah, I'm trying to increase my lead a little bit.
Well, with that, hopefully we can be back this week. And with week 6, this week we've decided no, we're not going to give you 5 games of the week.
Yeah, it's too good of a week for that.
We're going to give you 6.
This is where the bonus 6 game comes in. I am so excited. Really quick, I just want to say something before we start in. It comes out with the AP Top 25, and it came out, the Sunday after all of the games are played. And there are 4 teams ranked in the Big 12. I just have to put this in because I think it's so funny and I love it so much. So there's 4 teams ranked in the Big 12. You would think, okay, it's probably, if you didn't really haven't been watching football this season, but you know enough about football, you would probably think Baylor, Oklahoma State, Texas, maybe,
Mm-hmm.
Those are the 4 top teams usually. But no, well, Oklahoma State is one, but then you have TCU, Kansas.
Woo, go Jayhawks.
They're ranked now, and Kansas State. How crazy is that?
I love it.
College football is crazy. Anyway, just had to put that spiel in. I love it. I love the change up. TCU and Kansas are finally ranked, and they're both undefeated. Absolutely crazy. Just had to put that spiel in. Okay, let's head into our top 6 games. Okay, our first game of the week is Texas versus Oklahoma. This is at a neutral site. Oklahoma will be the home team, but it's at a neutral site.
It always is. With
yes,
these guys.
always in, which I think is
Red
lame.
River
but
rivalry.
That's besides the point. Interesting thing is they're both not ranked. I don't know the last time where neither Texas or Oklahoma was not ranked in this rivalry game.
Yeah.
Absolutely crazy. And I feel like it's a pretty even matchup.
Yeah, it'll be really... both teams are kind of fighting for their lives at the moment.
Yeah,
fighting for
if
a
they
season.
want any prayer of even hoping to get in the Big 12 at this point, Big 12 championship game, they need to win this. So with that, I'm going to go with good old Texas. Go Longhorns.
Go Longhorns.
Hook
There
up.
we go. I'm going to go with Texas. They are favored by 6. I think they are the better team. But
this year, I think.
it's just Texas
It
and
is
Oklahoma.
hard to know,
they're
though.
hard teams right now.
And it's a rivalry game. I mean, Texas has not
Anything
been good
can
in the
happen.
past, but yet they always play that game pretty close to Oklahoma. So it's so hard to know.
It'll be interesting. All right, now we have number 8, Tennessee at number 25, LSU. Tennessee is favored by 3.5. Granted, I think the reason it's 3.5 points is because Tennessee, they're playing at LSU. It's always tough. It's always tough to play at LSU. LSU is figuring themselves out with a new coach and everything this year. I think they had a hard loss at the beginning of the year with Florida State, trying to find an identity. Kind of an interesting spot. Whereas Tennessee, are they back? We'll find out this week, I think. And it will be very interesting. I'm going to go with Tennessee. They're going to stay undefeated.
I'm also going to go with Tennessee. They're also coming off of a bye. They had a bye this last week.
That's true.
So I think they've really are rested and well prepped for this game. So, and I think they want to remain undefeated.
I think they're gonna win by more than the 3.5.
I agree. Okay. Next we have number 16, BYU. Got to pull this out again. Our friend Mike, so kind to give us this,
providing us with the props.
With the props again. So here you go.
But we had to also provide.
BYU.
We had to provide our own prop as well.
Go Irish.
Go Irish. but anyway, yep, there you go. We got BYU
versus Notre Dame, and it's at a neutral site. It is in Las Vegas at the Raiders Stadium, which is such a nice stadium, brand new. That'll be a crazy game. Notre Dame's the home team, which is funny because it's actually closer to Provo, where BYU is.
I'm excited for this game. I think it's just going to be a very electric atmosphere. It's going to be
so too.
two teams. I think Notre Dame, they're trying to figure themselves out. They're going to get back to Notre Dame. And BYU, they are good.
Yes.
Notre Dame, you can't just think you're going to roll over BYU. And BYU, you
can't
got to
just
add your
think,
resume.
Yeah, you also just can't think that Notre Dame's down this year, so it's going to be an easy game.
And BYU has a lot to play for still.
Yeah, a lot to play for. So it'll be a really interesting game. Notre Dame's trying to not fall out of relevancy this season. They did just beat North Carolina. Don't know how great North Carolina is, but
a win's a win.
A win's a win.
For them at this point, honestly.
Yeah,
they'll take what they can.
So we'll see what happens. Notre Dame is favored by 3.
Mm-hmm.
But with that, I will have to go with BYU.
Yeah, I would say this, but I'm not going to. I'm going to go with BYU. I think BYU will win and shock Notre Dame. And it'll be interesting in Las Vegas. Wonderful. Wonderful sight. And then the next game we have.
Wait, hold on. You got the 2 church schools playing in Sin City. It's kind of funny.
That is hilarious.
There you go.
That'll be fun. Next game we have is number 11 Utah at number 19 UCLA.
I think they're 18.
Ooh, I read that wrong. Sorry. I do have 18. I just didn't see. At number 18 UCLA. UCLA finally ranked. Undefeated
5-0
but
after beating ranked Washington last week.
Not being respected.
Or this last week.
Utah with 1 loss,
is
at number 11
and
Utah's even favored by 3.5 points, and it's at UCLA.
Yeah, at UCLA, undefeated. They just beat ranked Washington.
Yeah. Yep.
And they were up by quite a bit. Washington made a comeback. But UCLA was dominating.
They did jump from being non-ranked to number 18, which is a good jump. You'll take that any day, but you're not respected.
Interesting. So they're is this year 5 with Chip Kelly? Chip Kelly's been there for a hot second now. 4 or 5.
Maybe, I'm not sure, but he's been there for long enough that he's turned the program around, and UCLA is good.
They were decent last year, and they're doing good this year. So it's going to be a tough game for both of them. Both are right now, shoo-ins for the Pac-12 championship.
Yeah, they're fighting for it, and Utah coming off a big win. We know this very well. We're obviously we're Utah fans, but Utah coming off a big win. I'm sunburnt from it. We cheered in the afternoon. It was wonderful, but. With that, Jordan, who are you picking?
I probably have my goggles on for this one, and it's so hard. I could have to go with Utah, but whatever. I'm just not going to say anything else.
I'm going to go with Utah, got my goggles, but also I don't. I do feel like Utah is the better team. However, I'm not saying that UCLA is out of it. I think UCLA is definitely going to put up a fight and definitely could squeak it out.
Oh, absolutely.
It will be very interesting. We'll find out how good each team is really, and whoever wins this game is really going to be in the driver's seat for the Pac-12 championship.
Yes, absolutely. Next, we have Texas A&M at number 1 Alabama.
Alabama, roll tide.
So it's kind of interesting. This was like one of the most talked about games in preseason. This was like the game, almost maybe one of the most hyped games going into the season. And now with Texas A&M having 2 losses, it's kind of like, it's just another game. And Alabama is favored by 24.5 points. So obviously, the Vegas people and all of them, they also think it's maybe just another game where Alabama's going to roll over someone.
Yeah.
Which is so crazy to be favored by that much against Texas A&M. So that shows you.
It will be interesting to see if Alabama has Bryce Young back. That's unknown at the moment, and we'll see if they do have him back. I think Alabama will roll over them, but also their second string quarterback still looked really good.
And it's interesting because Mississippi State actually beat Texas A&M last year.
Yeah.
That was one of their losses, and then the next week they beat Alabama.
Yeah.
So it's been done before, I guess, where they've turned it around, lost to Mississippi State one week, and then beat Alabama the next. But this year it's at Alabama. Last year it was at Texas A&M.
And Texas A&M's quarterback got hurt too.
Yeah, so I'm going to go with Alabama.
Going with Alabama.
But maybe it will be more interesting than we think.
I also think, Texas A&M, you poked the bear. You poked them last year when you beat them, and then all off season, Alabama's going to be ready for you.
Yeah, that was their one loss during the season, and so they're mad.
They're looking forward to this one. Alabama will win.
Alabama just also got back into the number 1 spot, so I think they're going to want to keep that.
They want to keep that for sure. For sure.
Okay.
Game of the week.
Our game of the week. If you would have told me preseason that this would be our game of the week this week.
It would have been our game of the week over Texas A&M Alabama.
Yeah, I would have been like, you're crazy. It's going to be Texas A&M Alabama. Nope. But here we are. It is number 17 undefeated TCU at number 19, undefeated Kansas.
Go Jayhawks. I love it.
What in the world is this football season?
I love Kansas so much.
And both not, they're both undefeated in 17 and 19. Also, both not really getting the respect.
Kansas has no idea what to do right now. They are so pumped. They put 5-0 on their scoreboard once they won the game, and the fans rushed the field. They are ecstatic. And College Game Day,
football school,
and ESPN College Game Day is going to this game over the Alabama Texas A&M game. And they should, but
and overall, all of these other games, Texas Oklahoma usually is a game they want to go to, but they're like, that Big 12 game is neither of them is ranked. Who cares? We want to go to TCU, Kansas.
I love Kansas so much. I'm so pumped for them. I can't wait. I'm giddy. But with that, we are doing something fun with this week.
I wish we would have started last week because I would have gotten to do this.
But so this is our game of the week. We are still going to have the crowd send in your prediction. We're going to have our winners, which we need to announce our winner after this. So sorry.
We forgot.
We will announce our winner just after this announcement. So not only is the crowd going to send in your prediction and we'll announce a winner, but we have decided Jordan's picked one team, I've picked the other. Whoever wins, the winner gets to take a plate full of whipped cream and smash it in the other person's face.
Do you see why I wish we would have started this last week?
So,
because I would have
Jordan, who's your team?
I know you're going to pick Kansas, so I'm going to pick TCU.
That's right. I'm going with Kansas. Go Kansas.
Go Horned Frogs.
So the loser will get a plate full of whipped cream.
Next episode, so make sure you watch.
Make sure you tune in. It'll be great. And to announce our winner for our game of the week, for last week for the NC State Clemson game, it was Ben Young. Congrats, Ben.
I also feel like we actually do need to share his score. Usually we don't, but his was so close.
It was so close, Ben. We are proud of you.
Almost dead on it. His score was Clemson 31, NC State 21, and the final score was Clemson 30, NC State 20.
We are so proud.
Absolutely insane. So good job on you.
Congrats, Ben. We're so proud of you. Thank you so much for participating. And please, everybody send in your winner and your score prediction for this week's game of undefeated TCU and undefeated Kansas.
Absolutely
so
crazy.
Pumped.
So excited for this one.
And with that, let's jump right in to Jordan's quick picks.
Okay. We're going to just go over the rest of the top 25 games this week and give our prediction. So first we have Michigan, Indiana. Michigan. Arkansas, unranked Arkansas at number 23, Mississippi State.
Arkansas, I want you to be back.
I do too.
I'm
so
picking Arkansas, let's go.
Razorbacks are back.
Razorbacks are back.
South Florida at number 24, Cincinnati. Auburn at number 2, Georgia. And they're going to be mad. Texas Tech at number 7, Oklahoma State. OK State.
I want to pick Texas Tech, but Oklahoma State.
He's trying to not fall more
catch
behind.
up.
Okay,
what games do I risk?
I mean, you can risk them.
No, I can't risk that one.
High risk, high reward.
Not that one.
Yeah, you said Texas Tech last week, which is what put you even further behind.
Yeah, we're not talking about it.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, number 3, Ohio State at Michigan State.
Finally playing an away game, Ohio State.
Yeah, they had 5 straight home games.
But it's not going to make a difference.
Ohio State. Okay. Also, if you haven't ever, look up their marching band. It's insane. We'll just give them a quick shout out. Just look them up. Okay. Number 9, Ole Miss at Vanderbilt.
Ole Miss.
Number 21, not 12. Number 21, Washington at Arizona State. Washington.
Arizona State's struggling.
Yikes, bad. They actually put up a decent fight against USC, though.
But they're struggling.
But they are struggling. Number 5, Clemson at Boston College.
Clemson.
Washington State at number 6, USC.
That's an interesting game.
That is an interesting game. Washington State's good. They almost beat Oregon.
I will go
but
with
I am going to go
USC.
with USC.
Interesting game.
Upset alert, yes. For sure. South Carolina at number 13, Kentucky. Army at number 15, Wake Forest.
Wake
Forest. And then number 20, Kansas State at Iowa State. Kansas State. Number 12, Oregon at Arizona. Oregon.
And we do have to follow up real quick.
Oh, yeah. Wait.
Not yet. Yeah. Sorry.
Okay. We have one more.
We're so excited to talk about this.
Okay. Florida State at number 14, NC State.
NC State.
Okay, now we can follow up.
Now we're going to follow up to, will they win a game? We have to follow up on Colorado. They lost to Arizona.
Honestly, that was like one of their last shots if they even got a prayer of winning.
I guess that was one of their more obvious shots.
Right. I mean, they have more shots.
You never know.
You never know.
But
they could upset someone big.
Colorado, you're still winless.
They are going to play Arizona State later in the season, so
you never know, but
I don't see them winning any other game, but so they are still winless. They're 0-5. We also actually have one other winless team, and that's Colorado State. So the state of Colorado is not doing super well right now.
Do you know what state is doing really well? Kansas State and Kansas.
Good for them.
Love it.
Utah is actually doing pretty well with BYU and Utah too.
Utah.
Florida was doing really well, and then it's just been down the drain.
Yeah, but bless their hearts. I think, does Colorado have a bye this week? We didn't look this up. We apologize. But
I kind of forgot about them. Sorry, Buffs.
But anyway, let's end it there.
Go Buffs. Okay.
Go Buffs.
We're going to end it there. Bye, everyone.
Thank you so much for listening.
See you next week.
Bye.